Hey, it's Guard here, and I bought a Wilco Offroad Hitchswing for the back of my Coachmen Beyond here because I want to be able to carry my bikes in my bike rack and be able to open the door, and the Hitchswing will let me swing the bike rack out of the way. And I'm also going to use it to put a cargo carrier shelf on it for times when I want to carry a little extra cargo outside of the van. So here's the Hitchswing, and it's pretty heavy. It's about 50 pounds, it feels like, but it's really nice. I love the welds on it, and I bought this at Jegs Off-Road, and we're gonna install it today. This right here is the anti-rattle device. They said to grease it up, and we'll slide this into the receiver hitch, and then I'm going to tighten it up with a extension. It's a 3/4 inch socket on an extension on a ratchet, and then once I get that done and get it all set, we'll torque it to the proper specs. But you'll notice on the side here there's two holes. There's a forward hole and a back hole. The further forward you can move everything off this hitch, further forward, the more weight it can carry. It's like a lever. If stuff's further out, it's more leverage on it, and it reduces the cargo carrying capacity. So I'm going to get everything as close as possible to the front. So I'm going to use this hole, the bottom one here, which will be the furthest back one. So the first thing I got to do is I got to get this in the receiver hitch, and it's a little greasy. It's a little awkward because of this anti-rattle device, the way it's built. You have to kind of get it lined up just right, just like that. It has to be like this. This is the worst part about this. I've had it on already, and I'm taking it off just to make the video, but here we go. Like I said, it's a little heavy. It works good, but it's just awkward. Tough with one arm. But it's a little bit heavy. Alright, now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to slide this in. Now I'm going to put my hitch pin over in the hole here, so when I get there, I'll know it's far enough. Okay, the hitch pin went in. So now, at this point, I'm just going to take a look at it here, make sure everything's good. Yeah, okay. Alright. So the next thing we're going to do is tighten it up. I got an extension, and I've got a cheap old ratchet here. So let's see. You have to take the hitch pin out because you got to get to the bolt. Tighten a little bit, and then make sure the pin goes back in, because the first time I did it, it moved. Alright, so I've tightened this up a little bit here. I take my hitch pin, make sure that it goes in, because that anti-rattle device can kind of either pull back or can pull this forward, so you want to make sure that everything's lined up. And now I've got my torque wrench, and I'm going to set it to 75 pounds. whenever you use a torque wrench, after you're done with it, you always put it back to 0. There we go. Okay, so that's set to 75 pounds. And they said after I drive it about 20 or 30 miles to go ahead and retorque it. In the meantime, you have to have this hitch pin in. So I'm going to put the hitch pin back in. Alright, so that's the mount. Now we got to put the swing arm on. Alright, so the next step is to install the swing arm. And like I said, well, you can see it's got some really beautiful welds. Look at those welds. You can move the camera a little closer. See those welds? It's really nice. Nice and uniform. It's right down there. Okay. Okay, so let's go ahead and get the installation going. You can see right here on the bottom there's a little raised section. There's this little Deltron little washer. And these get worn out after a while. After you use them for a while, you have to replace them. And let me see. It should just snap on there. Okay, that's good there. And then we'll put that there. We'll put the one on the top. And I'll slide it over here toward this hole. Alright, there. Now, the directions, they said to take this bolt and cover it with some grease. So I got the bolt greased up, putting a washer on it, and then I will go. And then on the bottom, this pin right here, this is what keeps it locked too. We can just put that in there too. That keeps it from swinging out. So now on the bottom, you've got a bolt here. It's covered with grease, washer, the mount, the Deltron washer, the bracket, Deltron washer, the swing arm. And then you add another washer and a nut, and this nut is a nylon locking nut. So we put that on the bottom, and I'll just run that up by hand. Okay. Now the directions said to torque this to 75 pounds, minimum 75 up to 100. The more torque you put out, the tougher it'll be to swing. So let's go ahead. I took my torque wrench. I removed the extension. I got a 3/4 inch wrench on the bottom. There we go. Wow. Okay. 70 pounds. It's a good bit of torque. Okay, so here it is. You pull this out, and this swings out to the side. It's got a little tension on it. If I made it to 100, it would be harder to swing. But it's got 2 mounting points. You can put a receiver hitch, a receiver whatever in here, a trailer hitch or whatever you want. And this is where I'm going to put my bike rack. You could put a bike rack there too, but that would defeat the purpose of having a swing arm. This is where you want to have your bike rack or a cargo shelf. And then you put this in here like that. What I'm going to probably do just for safety is I'm going to get me some tie wraps, and I'm going to tie wrap this in, just secure that. And then when I get somewhere where I need to swing it, I can always just cut the tie wrap. But that's that. Let me show you what my cargo shelves will look like. I bought this at Harbor Freight. already got it put together. It's pretty simple. And it's got one hole here, and when that hole goes in, that's where it is. It sticks out this far. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this in further. Maybe about right here, and I'm going to re-drill some holes in this receiver extension here so that it'll be closer in. But I like that. It's and I got an anti-row device. We'll put that on there later on. I'll make another video on all this when I get it ready. But in the meantime, there is the swing arm. And also don't forget, when you're done using your torque wrench, to bring it back down to 0, just to protect the mechanism in it. So there's that. And now, pull the pin, slide the hitch out of the way, and you can open the door. And this swing's got pretty far. So there it is. Close the door, swing your bike rack or whatever back in, put it there, drop the pin in, you're all done. So there it is, a Wilco Offroad Hitchswing. I bought this at Jegs. That was the best deal I found. The shipping was the deciding factor. If I bought it from Wilco, it would have cost me more for shipping than if I bought it at Jegs. And it came from, they just drop shipped it, which is interesting. So there it is, my Hitchswing. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye.